What is up, guys? Triple double upload Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we have some brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news courtesy of the Bungie weekly update unveiling official information. But it's not just that. We have some very interesting things coming out regarding Trials of Osiris, apparently. We have the official unveiling of the Dawning happening earlier today, and again we have that weekly update. All of that will be discussed in this video. But first, what I said at the beginning of the video is true. This is the 6th video I've uploaded over the past 3 days. There's been so much information and stuff coming out with Season of Dawn, but if you guys are lucky, you maybe have seen 2 of them. YouTube is gonna pretend anyone you're subscribed to does not exist. If you want to see any of my content, please press that bell button and turn notifications on. It's just how things work in 2019. Subscribing basically, unfortunately, does nothing. Now, let's get started with that news, and let's start with the spiciest news, and that is Trials of something. Now, this picture was apparently leaked. It came out, and it appears to be someone accidentally activating something very spicy. It is a placeholder icon. This is clearly unfinished assets, but this appears to be some sort of card, with the top being 7 slots and the bottom being 3. So potentially 7 wins and then 3 losses. This does look like it could be a Trials card. Now, is this leftover assets all the way back from Trials of the 9? Maybe, and it somehow got glitched and came up again on this guy's screen. But that has been out of the game for so long, it's much more likely that this is hinting on what's coming down the line, and that Trials of Osiris is returning at some point. The big question is, when? Well, I sincerely think it will not be returning this season with Season of Dawn, because Trials is such a big deal. Keeping something like that hidden would definitely hinder sales of this season. I feel like when Trials comes back, it's going to be such a big event, there will be a whole season around it. And I think Osiris being involved in this season is no accident. He's not even the main guy, really. Satan 14 is turning out to be kind of the main guy, the focus of the season. So reintroducing and refreshing us on Osiris and then having him take the forefront potentially next season or the season after that and reintroduce Trials, I think that is very likely. But this random placeholder appearing means that Bungie is clearly messing around with the inner workings of the game with something Trials related, and I think we will see Trials return sooner rather than later. Okay, now moving on from there, let's talk about the Dawning, because that is the majority of what the weekly update talks about is, hey, the Dawning is also announced. Now, this is going to start next reset, Tuesday, December 17th at 9 a.m. Pacific, and it's going to end on Tuesday at 9 a.m. in January 14th. Now, what exactly is going on for this year's Dawning? Well, Eva Levante is, of course, returning. She's got cookies to bake and have you hand out to all these different NPCs throughout the game and bring seasonal cheer. Of course, you can't just be handing out cookies for nothing. What is at stake in terms of loot for this season's Dawning? Well, the main weapon here is the brand new Cold Front SMG, pictured right here. And it's actually in the database, so we can look at the possible perks and spawns and archetype of this weapon, so let's do exactly that. So, this belongs to the very rare aggressive frame SMG archetype, doing 750 rounds per minute. There is really not too many other SMGs that belong in this archetype. Looking at the stats, actually pretty decent range, but trash stability. You're really going to have to up that with perks, and then pretty good handling as well. Looking at those perks, it does have a curated role of Zen Moment and the brand new perk Osmosis, which says using your grenade ability changes this weapon's damage type to match your subclass until you stow it. Could be very useful in a Nightfall with match game, for example. And looking at the rest of the random spawns here, we do have some decent perks, like steady rounds is probably going to be what you're looking for as well, combined with something like arrowhead break to just really improve that stability. Then we've got some decent perks. You can get the combo of feeding frenzy, which is going to increase your reload substantially after getting a kill, and kill clip, where you get a kill and then reload and then you get a big damage bonus. Feeding frenzy plus kill clip is an absolute wombo combo. That is a pretty deadly combination. But we do have the Osmosis perk available here as well on a random roll, and we've got another brand new perk introduced this season with Vorpal Weapon. Increased damage against bosses, vehicles, and guardians with their super active. I don't think that's as good with an SMG, something more like a sniper rifle it would be fantastic for, but I would be looking for Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip, but going Feeding Frenzy Osmosis for a very unique weapon is a pretty good roll as well. Dynamic sway reduction shouldn't be forgotten as well because of this weapon's terrible stability. However, that's not the only weapon available. Last year's randomly rolled weapon, the Avalanche Machine Gun, is going to be available again this year for people who weren't able to participate in last year's Dawning. So it belongs to the same damage archetype as the Hammerhead. Not quite as good stats, but if you don't have a good Hammerhead, get a good Avalanche. It could be very powerful. Moving on from there, Bungie says there's going to be weekly and repeatable Dawning bounties that are going to grant Bright Dust, and you can spend that Bright Dust on a bunch of new cosmetics hitting the store, some of which are pictured here. So we've got 3 brand new armor sets, and you can appreciate those in this much better screenshot right here. And the Titan helmet specifically, and actually the Warlock helmet, look absolutely dope. Definitely want to get my hands on that. And with the whole Armor 2.0 system, being able to gain access to this and then make it the appearance of any armor piece out there, whatever you have the best roll on, is fantastic. We've also got some sick new ghost shells here. We've got the Snow Globe one. Then moving on from there, we have the kind of Snowflake ghost shell. And then lastly, we have the Gingerbread ghost shell. We've also got some sick new sparrows pictured in the bottom too. Not only that, but we have a new finisher going to be available for the Dawning, pictured right here, the Perfect 10. Moving on from there, another cosmetic available, but one that sounds like it will be available for finishing that like Dawning quest and giving out cookies and so far, is this ship, and apparently a sparrow associated with it as well. We see a bunch more emotes and stuff being used in this screenshot here, including the Guardian in the middle holding an exotic engram, and this is that full emote played out. We're getting that bread 2019. And that is really it. There was some speculation that Sparrow Racing would be returning, but apparently that is not true. There's nothing about it in the official announcement. So it's just going to be, doing the quests, the new bounties, and then handing out cookies and farming for a god roll of this new Cold Front SMG, as well as getting the ship and the Sparrow, earning Bright Dust, getting the other cosmetics. All the while, the tower is going to have a unique look for the Dawning, and so on. Moving on from there, the last thing I wanted to talk about is something very interesting. Bungie actually shouts out the fact that you can go and acquire parts of your season pass from last season, so Season of the Undying. If you weren't around or you forgot to collect all of those rewards, you can go and collect them still to this day. You just have to visit this link, and of course the weekly update is going to be linked in the description of this video. But here's the thing, there's actually kind of a glitch going around right now. For whatever reason, if you did achieve up to, I think, rank 92 last season, there is an exotic engram that you can get, and for whatever reason, it says that it's not claimed on this website, even if you claimed it in-game. So specifically with the hunter, it seems to be working. If you select your hunter, you can click on that exotic engram that you, again, maybe already claimed last season, and you'll get an exotic on your character, and it will almost always be the new Bombardier's exotic legs, because the way they kind of changed exotic engrams are that it's going to give you a new one pretty much every time, and then you're just going to start getting duplicate armor after that. So if you want a brand new exotic, just go to that link. As long as you haven't gotten the Bombardiers on the Hunter yet, go to that link. You know, make sure you're signed in, obviously, and you have the right character selected with your Hunter. You can try it on the other characters, but it seems to work best with Hunter. Just click the exotic engram at level like 92, and then it'll just appear in your account. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.